This conference will now be recorded.
Decrease is a really good babysitter.
All right, Chad,
was
we are at
telling me all
6:30
the-
and we
You
are
know what I
ready to
mean?
go.
Problems he was having this weekend. Did he get, or he was
Rock and
BSing
roll.
me?
Chad,
Caden. Oh, I'll talk to you later.
I'm gonna go ahead and call this October 9th, 2023 meeting to order at 6:31. All are present except for Janda. We'll stand.
Oh.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did you hip?
Yep.
Oh, gosh. Move to approve the agenda.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Lauren, a second by Jason to approve the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, we'll move down to resolution, Oh. consent agenda items.
Move to approve.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Lauren and a second by Jason to approve the consent agenda items. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Now we'll move down to resolution 23-18.
we can skip that one till police report.
Okay, we'll go down to the ambulance report. You gotta switch these around if you want me to skip.
Yeah, I apologize. All right. 131 runs for this year, down from last year a little bit. We have a crew out on medical. Training's going well. Did a fire standby for the training last month. EMT class is over half done, and they're hoping that everybody will pass the national test. They'll be setting up another class at the start of the new year, as Sarah Joe and Sarah Sunday can both be instructors. So that's kind of basically it for the ambulance report.
How did she rack up 400 hours?
What?
She says, last month I had over 400 hours for the month.
Just call time.
We
Being
don't,
on call 24, 48. I mean,
Wow.
taking Friday, Saturday, Sunday. She's basically taking call time when she's not working. which is
Oh.
Basically all the time.
so that's where a lot of those 400 hours come from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense then.
She needs some time off.
Yep, she should do that. Move to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Lauren and a second by Jody to approve the ambulance department report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Fire department report.
2 calls for the month, 1 motor vehicle accident, 1 mutual aid. Extrication tool training with the new extrication tools. The old extrication tools were sold to, do you remember?
El Churro, or El
Altura.
Churra.
Fire department. And the fire department would like to request lighting upgrade on the tanker at a cost of $8,084.80 to Comtech Land Mobile Radio. The cost would be shared between the rural fire fund and the city's fire fund for vehicle operation and repairs and maintenance expenses, and there is enough money to take care of that between those
I
two.
see that bid was issued on June 23rd. We're just getting it now. Is that just?
Yeah, it's just, this is one of those guys that does it on his own, and so
Oh, okay.
it just is what it is. So they'd like approval for that.
I think I'll move to approve the bid of $8,084.80 from Comtech Land Mobile Radio for new lights on the tanker truck, isn't it?
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Jody and a second by Jason to accept the bid for the new lights on the fire truck. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
That's it for the fire report.
Need a motion to accept.
Motion to approve the fire department report.
Second.
I have a motion by Jody and a second by Lauren to approve the fire department report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Move down to Waseca County Broadband Pad Project. Police Department report.
Yeah.
Again, yeah, what's that
Still.
about?
123 calls for the month of September. Total calls through September 23, 748. we're obviously down because of lack of people this year. Officer Gerard, who will be swearing in, has completed field training and he will move into the full-time position starting October 20th. We are still having issues with our black squad, which would be the old one. I have been working on numbers, getting numbers together to think about possibly buying a new one eventually. Our radar system in our new squad is from our old squad. And it's kind of on the fritz a little bit. And I talked to the guy who calibrates our radars every year, recertifies them. He said the one that's the oldest one was last manufactured in 2002. So it could be 21 years old, it could be 25 years old. A refurbished system would be roughly $3,500. We're not quite to the point of needing a new one, but that's possibly coming down the pipe.
I might get a new one if we're gonna look at new cars.
Yeah.
Right. One additional thing to add to my report is I'm requesting permission to hire Cade Madden on his part-time. He's a current Waseca Police Department officer, and he called and said, hey, do you want extra help? And I said, yeah. So he's passed his psych and all that jazz, so he should be ready to come on by the end of the month, if not before. So request for that. Other than that, that is it.
I'll need a motion on that hire if you wanna hire that person.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Or you get the second too.
Jason,
Okay.
all in favor?
Aye. We're as bad off as you.
I know it. All right.
Stand up. Please. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, Drew Gerard,
I, Drew D-Ron,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support the Constitution of the United States
to support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Minnesota,
and the state of Minnesota,
and to discharge faithfully the duties of police officer
and to discharge faithfully the duties of a police officer
for the police department of the city of New Richland
for the police department of the city of New Richland
to the best of my knowledge and ability.
to the best of my knowledge and ability.
Welcome.
Congratulations. But I just have a question. So the cost of the repairs on squad 270 is, I think, would they equal or be more than what the vehicle is worth?
Theoretically, yes, because it's one of those, there's two things that are wrong with it. I would have to ask Isaac for the
Sure.
exact things. But essentially, we wouldn't be able to fix one without fixing the other problem.
You know, one thing leads to the next.
Yes.
So, and not saying we do this all the time, but in the off chance that we have to go more than like 80, 85 miles an hour, it starts to like
Okay.
rattle and shake and
How many miles are on that one?
110,382.
Okay. Good job. Okay, no, I was just curious if there's a trade-off where we say, why spend this much money to fix it?
Yeah,
Right.
it all depends on, Denise and Isaac will talk about it, and Denise done a very good job figuring that out and balancing that.
Okay.
I mean, if it doesn't make sense for us to keep it, we're not gonna keep it.
No.
I mean, I'd rather be down to one car that functions well
Yeah.
and get rid of that one.
And be safe, it sounds like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we still need to have a second mode
Just-
of transportation of some sort.
Sure.
So.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Need a motion to approve we need
Yeah.
a motion to approve the police department. I'll make a motion that we approve the police department report.
I'll second that.
Have a motion by Jody and a second by Jason to approve the police department report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Okay, now you can hop back up to the resolution, and so just to explain the resolution to you, since Drew is moving to from part-time to full-time, he will now move to the police and fire plan for para. In order for that to be done, we have to pass this resolution, which basically tells para that he does qualify, he does meet those things, and that's his job title, so that he's allowed to be on that plan.
So move.
I'll second that.
Have a motion by Lauren and a second by Jason to approve resolution 23-18. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Move down to the 2024 budget.
I have that on the list. I don't have anything for you this month. The only reason I leave it on there is if we continue to have some conversations or to talk. I guess the only thing I can share with you is that the state funding came through for fire aid, police aid, and that kind of thing. And it
Good,
goes,
I was just gonna ask about that.
yeah, so what I found out today was because we have not had a second full-time qualifying officer for so long, our police aid was cut by almost $10,000.
Oh, geez.
So instead of what we should have got, which was like 17,000-ish or something like that, we had 8. So just a thought going forward that if we don't have that position filled, that's not money the state's gonna be reimbursing to us. So, I mean, it's gonna be a wash based on the money that we've saved by not having that person there. So it's really budget neutral per se, but it's just that you're gonna see that we should have taken in 18,000 revenue and it's only gonna be about 8,500. So, but
Weird.
Yeah.
Also, I was looking at the budget on our, I think we're projecting 150,000 on ambulance revenue. And I think year-to-date, we're only at about 75.
that was through
That was
August.
August, right?
I think that's gonna be a pretty close number.
Really?
Stuff that's coming through with the billing company now that everything's caught up with Medicare and stuff, that's gonna be a pretty close number, I think, for next year.
Well, when Sarah tells us the runs are down from last year, I'm thinking if the runs are down, the revenue's gonna be down.
Potentially.
Yeah, I think that's how it works.
Well, it depends on
Right.
billing. I mean, whatever Medicare is paying for billing. So,
And Medicare's gone up, so we'll receive more revenue.
right. So,
Checks in the mail.
yeah.
Still
Yeah,
receiving.
the Medicare billing issue has been fixed, so all that stuff is starting to come through. So I do think that we'll be there or pretty close to there. I wasn't planning on changing that number for next year. I think it'll
Alright.
be closer next year, but I'll put it on my list of things to look a little closer into, and I'll even call in Brian over at Expertise Billing and see what he has to say, because he knows what they're getting paid and what their plans are going to be to get paid for next year. So I can do a little more digging into that. I do know the care center revenue is going to have to go up, and our expenditures are going to have to go up too for that. But I mean,
Right, I got that on my
that's
notes
an in
too.
and out thing. So whatever we bring in, we spend out. So anything else?
For me.
Waseca County Broadband Project.
All right, I met with Steve Kraus last week regarding the Waseca County broadband project. So a while back, they worked with Faribault County to try to do a combination project, and it got denied. And I think basically what I understand from the conversation is that the city was trying to fix some of their issues that they had with some of this grant money, which was not the point of the whole grant. So they're looking at they are doing a new grant. This is that was the previous planned build, but this is the current planned build. So this would be just west of our town, basically all of Waldorf, Vivian, everything kind of north up to St. Mary's, to basically bring fiber to every home in that area.
So it is all fiber house.
Fiber to every house, door to door. Yep. So the thing that kind of gets me a little excited about this project is how close New Richland is to where this fiber line is going to be, and potentially opens us up in the future to some opportunity to maybe even take that into town and put fiber door to door in the city of New Richland as well.
Now that's door to door, but they don't have to purchase that plan, do they?
No, so with this program, they're basically, the thing is that this is gonna be their opportunity to, for one time, for free fiber to their door. And so they don't have to take the program. They don't have to sign on to Bevcom. They don't have to go with them for internet.
Cost isn't
But if they say no now and they choose to go fiber later, the
there.
company will bill them for the fiber to the door. So this is a grant that gets all the fiber to the door. So this is the list of residences that would be served by this
Jeez,
fiber project, which is almost, I mean, if you look at it, it's a third of Waseca, maybe even
more.
close to half of Waseca County. And then the plan would be to obviously, I think the plan for them is to move in further. So the estimated cost is $6 million. The grant will cover $4.5 million. Bevcom's investing $825,000 and Waseca County's committed $675,000.
Does that all add up to the right amount?
I don't know, probably. But here's just a list of, this is what their speeds are planning and pricing. And it's very similar to what we have in town
I
for.
presume that's a month.
Yeah, yeah. And they do also offer a program for or low income, which is like $30 off a month or something like that. So, and with that, they'll be able to do TV and all kinds of other stuff as
Now,
well.
the price is difference for business versus residential. What's the difference in this offering?
I would just assume speeds probably and support. I would assume we probably have some static IP stuff in those plans and not dynamic stuff. So, but yeah. So basically, they're just looking for a letter of. This is another thing I just wanted to bring to your attention because he brought this to my attention. I was not aware of this program, but there are a few places around town here that do have fiber. I know there's a loop. I believe it's on 240th that Jaguar put in. The state of Minnesota right now has a grant program where if you're within so far of a fiber line, the state will give you up to $25,000 to put that line to your house. So if there's anybody around the New Richland community that's within that a mile or two of that fiber loop, they should definitely look at this grant project because you basically, the state of Minnesota basically pay to have that fiber put to your house. So to complete that loop. So what they're looking for is just letters of support, and so I did draft a letter of support from the city of New Richland, and basically I can read it here. City of New Richland strongly supports efforts for broadband infrastructure grant in Waseca County, as a good portion of the county does not have access to strong, reliable broadband. This makes it difficult and or impossible for many of our community members and businesses to access vital programs and services. We support Waseca County and its partner provided in seeking grants to fund the construction of fiber optic networks, which will provide broadband services to homes and businesses now underserved. These home and businesses have little likelihood of being served otherwise, as they have been overlooked by other providers in previous federal support programs. The rural nature of our county makes it economically difficult and unattractive for new providers to build such a network on their own. Broadband access drives economic growth, education, and quality of life. Connectivity to services in education, healthcare, public safety, and government are vital to the well-being of the residents in our county. Additionally, the community is increasingly demanding access to a greater internet bandwidth. What was acceptable 5 years ago in terms of speed is no longer sufficient to promote growth and remain competitive. Availability of affordable, high-speed service, broadband service to all residents, businesses, and visitors is essential. Grant funding programs are critical to the development of broadband systems needed to provide access in unserved and underserved areas of Waseca County. The New Richland City Council fully supports Waseca County and its partners pursuing such grant opportunities. So if you're willing to have me to provide that letter of support to Mr. Kraus and Mr. Johnson, I would do so with a motion.
So move.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Lauren and a second by Jason to approve the letter of support. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
So Tony, just one question.
Yep.
If you're just a normal, regular resident with a TV and a computer and.
Yep.
So which one of these, I mean, because I don't know anything about
And you
this,
don't have any kids?
not that live with me.
That,
But I
yeah.
mean, 1,000, I mean, 100, 500, or 1,000, what?
I mean, it's probably a better question for Jason.
Most
but
people will do okay with the 100.
I would say that if you're like for you and your home, I would say between 50 and 75 is probably.
Oh, really?
What you're looking for.
Okay.
Average speeds up and down for MSU in the dorms is 100 to 125 megabytes.
Yeah.
And
So
that's
500 would be way,
I think what Netflix requires you to be able to stream is like 10.
really? Okay.
So
You're
Yeah.
not really gaming in high video and stuff, then you get up into the higher.
Oh, yeah.
you
that-
probably need that
that-
1,000.
Yeah, that's me. Okay, thanks.
Utility billing payment system.
All right, going along with the website, I've been looking at doing some upgrades to the utility billing payment system. We haven't been really happy with PSN. There's been a lot of problems with deposits showing up on different days and things not transferring over, and PSN never couldn't really tell us what the problem is other than that it's a batch problem and then we gotta take care of it. So we started doing a little bit of looking. The new website company that we're going with has a payment portal for utilities that basically syncs with the website, which is really nice. But they're like 2.9% plus 30 cents a transaction or something like that, is their fee. And then I had looked at another place, which I'm kind of leaning to right now, and they are 2.75% per transaction. And then they bill the city $9.95 a month to be able to use them as, so basically they can take payments for us after hours via the phone,
So like a third party.
third-party billing service or
Okay.
whatever. And their fee is just 2.75%, doesn't matter. That's credit card. Any ACH, which is a check, would be $1, whether it's $20 or $5,000, they would charge $1 for the ACH fee. The reason I share this all with you now is the industry is moving to customer paying the processing fees. Currently, we pay the processing fees with PSN when somebody makes a payment for our utilities, whatever PSN's fee is, and I'm a little irritated with them because I sent 2 emails to them and called and they have not responded to me yet about, because I'm trying to find what their fees are and if we even have a contract with them. But the industry is moving towards consumers paying the fee, and you will notice it, especially if you go to a restaurant where it says credit card fee and then it'll be like 1 point whatever percent or whatever.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm looking for from the council is some direction to decide whether we maintain paying those fees or if we want to transition with this new software to have the consumers pay the fees. Right now, based off of what I could find out from our billing software, it works out to be anywhere between $3,800 and about $4,500 a year that we're paying for credit card fees.
Well, that's $3,800.
And if it's going that way anyway.
I asked him, I said, you're the industry person. I said, what is the ratio? And he said, right now, he said 75% of the people that we do business with are charging the customer that fee. And he said all the businesses that he's brought on in the last 2 months, everybody's transferred that fee on to the customer. So
Makes
Well,
sense.
be
kinda
no
way the
different than
industry's
anywhere
moving.
else.
No, it's the same as go anywhere else.
Yeah. The nice thing about the new software that I'm looking at is they have the ability to do lots of things that we don't right now, where a resident can sign up, put their portal together, have access to real-time information about their account. They can put 3 or 4 different credit cards and save them in there, or check cards or checking accounts. If they were in a hurry, they could call City Hall and I could pull up their account and they could say, hey, can you pay my water bill with my check card ending 6543? And we would just click that and hit pay and be done. We can set it up so that it sends you a text message 5 days before the bill is due and says, if you want to pay your water bill, you can hit yes and it will automatically deduct it from your account.
Do you think that would help the blue card situation?
It's hard to say. The blue card situation seems to be the same people over and over again and over again, so I don't know. I don't know that it would be. The only thing that I think that it could help with is that the software is set up so that if you forget or you haven't made a payment, it'll send you those reminders. Where we don't do that right now. We send the paper bill and that's it. We don't send anything out. This system would allow us to send messages, and then it would say or you could set it up so it reminds you that your payment's due in 5 days or whatever. And I just think it's, whatever. So I guess what I'm looking for is I need some direction about fees, and then what my plan is to have 2 or 3 options to come back to at the next meeting and decide if we want to go forward, because this new company actually, the one that I'm really leaning towards now, will actually cover the cost to transition to them. They will pay our Banyan fees to transition to Banyan. They will pay all of our service contract fees with Banyan to move everything over. And they will actually send all the marketing materials to our residents at no cost.
All the time?
No, just for this initial, to say,
For the
January
startup.
1, we're going to this new system, here's what's happening, and then to market that through from there.
That's still a good incentive, I think.
Well, the Banyan fee itself is like $900 to activate them for Banyan, and then it's $195 a year for service fee. So they would initially pay that $800, $195, and then after that, we would pay the $195 a year service fee with Banyan, which we have to do anyway. So.
Oh, that's no brainer.
Yeah.
So we have verse on the fees that we're looking at not paying anymore, and that cost, that's about $1,000 altogether then, isn't it? Would be safe? No, I mean 5,000.
It'd be, well, I mean, the one-time $800 charge, we can't really count because that's really not anything, but we'd be saving, yeah, it'd be close to, it'd be 4,000 for sure, all year long. And that would be split between your water and sewer, so that would be, 2,000 each enterprise fund per year that would be spent on that stuff.
Well, in my opinion, it's worth doing this.
Yep, I think you should go look and bring back
Yeah,
more
it's more numbers.
concrete.
No, I will, what I need to know is if you guys wanna move to passing those fees on, I need a motion on that. And then if that's what you wanna do,
I'll make a motion that we pass the credit card fees.
effective January 1.
Effective January 1, good.
Second.
I have a motion by Jason and a second by Lauren to pass on the convenience fees of card effective January 1. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Okay, and then I will put together a presentation for the next meeting that shows the HayGov side. The HayGov side would be really nice because it blends in with our new system, but that extra 30 cents per transaction, I don't wanna pass that along to them, to the customer. I don't think it makes sense. It's not. The product that the 2.75 people had was a better product than the 2.9 plus 30 cents, so.
Okay.
All right.
Move to this administrator's report.
We worked on the budget and the capital plan, worked on the chloride variance application, that's almost done and buttoned up. Ambulance payroll is completed, council payroll is completed, you should have all got paid hopefully.
Yep.
Continued conversation with Intellisense regarding health insurance, I believe they're coming down the last week in October to onboard our staff for health insurance for 2024. Met with the broadband person, met with 2 alternate payments providers for utility billing, and then working with the city attorney regarding some delinquent building permits. And
How many of those are outstanding?
well, I think there's just 2 that we're working on, one primary one and then another one. But he was gonna get to those. We talked Friday and sent him a bunch of pictures and video and stuff, and then he was gonna work on it this week and hopefully have it tied up by Friday.
Are they long overdue?
30 to 60 days, but there's some issues with safety concerns
All right.
that we need to button up. So, and I will say that Jason Moran, our city attorney, has been just absolutely phenomenal. He's just wonderful to work with. So, outside of, excuse me, outside of that, no employment anniversaries, but Tanner Schluter and Laura Beckman, both on the ambulance, have birthdays this month. So if you see them, wish them happy birthday. And if you don't have any other questions, that's all I have for you this evening.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Lauren and a second by Jody to approve the city administrator's report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Move to adjourn.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Lauren and a second by Jody to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Meeting adjourned, 7:00.